Don't so many of us have happy childhood memories of the world of Walt Disney? I know you do, Wendy. I do.
Absolutely.
Connor, do you at your young age?
I've been to Disney World, but...
Okay, there you go. That
Yeah,
qualifies.
Sure does.
Well, Leslie Iwerks is the granddaughter of the original designer and co-creator of Mickey Mouse. She has a new book, which is based on a documentary she made called The Imagineering Story, the official biography of Walt Disney Imagineering. And Leslie joins us on the phone. Leslie, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
In what way was this a homecoming for you?
Well, I grew up in the Disney world. My grandfather, as you just mentioned, was the co-creator and designer of Mickey Mouse and partnered with Walt Disney for many years and was an innovator and an engineer and a designer of projection systems and camera systems and ride systems. And my dad also followed in his footsteps for 35 years at the Disney company as an engineer and designer. And so I grew up around this backstage at the studio and the parks and had a firsthand glimpse as a kid into the behind-the-scenes magic. So cut to a number of decades later, I've been traveling the world, documenting their story, interviewing over 200 people, and experiencing the behind-the-scenes in a way that I can bring to the rest of the public.
And as a storyteller, as a filmmaker, how did this story first come to you, and why was it so important to you?
Well, I had done a film about Pixar Animation Studios called The Pixar Story, and we screened it at Imagineering, which is the division that built all the theme parks based in Glendale, California. And the former president, Marty Sklar, had said to me after seeing a screening of The Pixar Story, he said, "When are you going to tell our story?" And I said, "Well, you tell me. I'd love to." So cut to, they commissioned me for 5 years to travel around the world, go behind the scenes, document the various things in production and about to unveil, and really just chronicle the making of. And that ultimately turned into a 6-hour docuseries that aired on Disney Plus when they launched, and the timing was perfect. And it just was an unprecedented look at the business side of this organization and the creative side, and also the technological side. So weaving all this together over a span of 70 years history was challenging, but it was really, really fun. And it took me to places like inside the Matterhorn and playing basketball up in the Matterhorn, and with Bob Gurr, who was one of the early designers of the Matterhorn, to backstage at the Haunted Mansion and seeing how the projection works, and inside Pirates of the Caribbean, and just the intricate look at the evolution of animatronic figures from Tiki Bird to Mr. Lincoln, all the way through the latest stuntronic technology of flying animatronic figures like, Batman and things like that. So anyway, or Spider-Man, I should say. So it's been really a fascinating story to track and to follow and to tell.
Leslie, as a kid, who was your favorite Disney character?
Mickey Mouse, of course.
And what are some of the surprises about the behind-the-scenes working that readers and watchers of your documentary might find?
There have to be a lot, actually.
Yeah, I think people love the sort of first-person journey that I take them on through these different places, whether it be, riding Space Mountain and how it was designed to, like I said, up inside the Matterhorn. Things that you would normally never get to witness or see firsthand, I was able to do, and that's kind of how I grew up. So to me, it's always just fun to do that and to take viewers there. And I think that, with the documentary, I interviewed over 200 people around the world, and so much was left on the cutting room floor, so many detailed stories of the making of. And so that's how the book got commissioned was, let's take some of that stuff that was on the cutting room floor and turn it into a 750-plus page book. So I think if you're interested in business, if you're interested in, innovation and technology and just applying the out-of-the-box thinking in design and artistry to anything that you're doing, I think this book will inspire you, because it's not just about theme parks.
Disney has been so, in terms of, just pivotal when it comes to new technologies. it's hard to even imagine what the future might look like. Were you surprised to find out some of the things in the pipeline?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what's interesting is the unexpected. Like they will do a mashup of technology. You know, like for example, some of the ride systems are trackless ride systems, right? And they're the magnetic propulsion, dynamic propulsion ride systems that can be programmed digitally, but take you anywhere and pivot. And they're almost reactive. It's almost like AR and VR. And just the way in which they're combining these different modes of technology to create new transportation systems is really fascinating. So I think that they're always thinking a decade or two out when it comes to some of these attractions and how the technology is advancing so quickly, and ultimately what that can do to the guest experience, because the guest experience is number one for them.
When it comes to the old cartoons, we were just asking our colleague Connor, who's on the show with us, who's 25, if he had Disney memories, and he has been to the parks. But the cartoons, to me, I like the old animation better than new animation. I don't know all the proper terms, but do you hear that a lot?
Yeah, I think, there is sort of a sense of nostalgia for the original hand-drawn animation that a lot of us grew up with, or at least my dad would bring home 16 millimeter prints of 101 Dalmatians or Sleeping Beauty or, Snow White, and we would project them into my living room and watch them. And those were just classic hand-drawn films that now with CG, you don't get that same texture and same, tactile feel. But I think that there's the style of those early animations are coming back a little bit through, like Cuphead and other shows that have embraced the 30s style of my grandfather's work, very bouncy, rhythmic style. So I don't know. I think the animation's all over the map. There's just so many different styles you can do, and it just depends on what you like.
What's next for you, Leslie?
I just finished a series for Warner Brothers on the history of DC Comics and films and the whole DC universe. That will be coming out next year. And then I'm in development with Disney on a new series that we have not yet announced. And I'm also in production with Warner Brothers on another big series that they are about to announce. So I wish I could tell you more on that one because it's very exciting.
Well, you'll have to join us in the future. So on your time off, Leslie, what do you watch on TV? Something dark and disturbing?
or bright and
like
fun?
The Inside Man?
You know what I've been a fan of lately is Ted Lasso. I know it's sort of old, but I just love that show.
Yes.
I just find it very cute.
Yes, it is great.
Yeah, and Yellowstone. I love Yellowstone too.
Yes.
Don't tell us. I didn't
night?
watch it last night, so don't tell me.
Okay.
Leslie Iwerks, thank you so much for joining us. The Imagineering Story, the official biography of Walt Disney Imagineering. It's a documentary and a book. Hope you'll talk to us again with your upcoming project.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.